Hey up, Ali. Hello, Dan, you alright? Do you know where we are? I'm gonna go for a wander and I'll start recording a bit. Let's go for a wander first, see you in a bit. That's your view?
Yeah.
That is that's
Man,
crazy.
Look, that's another shot of the view up there from the terrace.
Look at that. Living the dream, boys.
Living the dream.
Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you, mate. See you later, boys.
Go on, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to Just Rick. Great channel, great content. And
Who's
keep
he?
the country.
Who's he? I've got no idea who he is. See you later, Dad.
We'll be with you.
See you later, man. Come on, let's go walking. Fancy that. Are we on? Are we ready? Let's have a look. We're on. How are we doing? I'll go for a bit of a wander, get a bit of the sun first. Another day. Don't know what day it is. Thursday. Thursday today. And I go for a wander and see how far it gets. You come pick us up when I'm done. Grab a coffee along the way, I think. Wanted to talk, first of all, if you're not an animal lover, by the way, stick with us. It'll be gone in a couple of minutes. We're a week in. We're a week in Callio now, and it's I quite like it, actually. I do like it. The only issue I've got, and the biggest, I was just talking before with Dan, is the only issue I've got is it's the dog friendly side of it. It's all penned in. Callio's penned in because it's getting bigger, and the area that everyone says no, go there's a barranca, which is a big open wasteland. Go there and you can take your dog off the lead and it's great. Unfortunately, we've renamed it Millionaires Row because villa upon villa is getting built now down there, and it's all fenced off. So the land's been bought and it's all getting fenced off. Got an itch. We're pretty much hemmed in Callio. I've found little bits of area of wasteland where I can take him, but nowhere to the level that I wanted to expect I can take him. So I'm end up walking around in circles and walking around wasteland and stuff like that to get him worn out. I think we did 4K this morning. With him, and he's all right with it. But I don't know how long I'll keep the interest up. Hello guys, you all right? How you doing? You all right? Nice to see you again. I met them last night. So getting a bit hemmed in there. I don't know how long I'm going to keep that interest up. I need to find somewhere where I can take him and get him loosened so he can get a proper run. And then people don't give you grief, because that's the other thing as well. I think what's happened is I had to put a post on one of the social media sites, Facebook, just to introduce him, because every single day, 2 or 3 times a day, I'm getting people seeing him and are actually scared of him because they don't know him. They just know there's a big dog, and he's like, I get it, but he's soft as anything. He wants to say hello to people. So I've had to put this post up just explaining who he is, so that people can, hopefully it'll level itself off. The amount of people that are scared of him, maybe some other people will go and give him a cuddle or go and give him a stroke and say hello to him, you know what I mean? Because as a dog owner, you don't want people to be scared of your dog. I'm not that type of dog owner, It did get to a point yesterday. I'm at the end of a 5K walk and I walked around a corner and there's an old lady, Spanish lady in a wheelchair, and she stops and she was like massively over dramatic. I was like making the gestures that she was petrified of him. And in my head I went, oh, just go and eat her. But you just get fed up with it, you know what I mean? And I don't mean that. I don't mean that. But that's the story of the dog. We're letting the cat out today. Shelley's got the GPS collar for her, but the cat's going out. So it was funny this morning because Shelley's downstairs on the terrace and I'm upstairs on the balcony putting the washing out, and she's letting the cat out. And I said, "You're not going to let me say goodbye to her?" And she thought that was a horrible thing to say. And I'm like, "Well, hang on a minute. This cat turned up at our doorstep. One day somebody didn't have the opportunity to say goodbye to the cat. He says, now we're putting it in a jeopardy position and you're not giving me a chance to say goodbye to it. At least give me the opportunity to say goodbye to the cat." You know what I mean? And I was actually being quite serious in a funny sort of way. And she thought I was being horrible. I wasn't being horrible. I think whatever happens, if she goes, she'll have a great life. I don't want her to go, obviously, but if she does, it's a cat thing, innit? That's what cats do. Apparently you own a dog, but the cats own you. That's what everybody says. And I genuinely believe that. I really do. Cats and dogs. Kickity cat. The second one, familiarity. Familiarity. We've moved to a new area. We're about 25-30 minutes away from where we lived. And wherever I'm walking, whatever road I'm going down, I'm looking for familiarity. I go, oh, it's a bit like the golf. Or you go past the bar and go, oh, it's a bit like the Emerald. Or you go past the restaurant and go, oh, it's a bit like the pizzeria. And it's like, why? Why are you looking for familiarity? Familiarity? Why are you looking for familiarity? Why are you looking for familiarity on somewhere that's completely new? And it's like, we take comfort in the familiarity of it, don't we? We take comfort. It's like, well, that is a bit like the golf. Oh, thank goodness for that. Which is weird. Or that is a bit like the Emerald. I was walking down the street, didn't have my glasses on, saw a bloke across the road about 50 metres away. Oh, is that Arthur? Now Arthur lives on the Gulf. I've only met him a few times, really nice guy, lives on the Gulf. And I'm like, why would he be here at like 9:30 in the morning? And obviously it wasn't him. 100% it wasn't him. But the familiarity that we search for was just an automatic like chemical reaction in my brain to go, is that him? So I go and say hello, and it's like, I don't understand that. I think it's a comforting way to try and find the comfort going, well, okay, it's not maybe not great, but it's this. And don't get me wrong, by the way, I love Calio. I absolutely love it. And I am saying it like the English, Calio, because that's how everybody says it. Calio. But you see, I've known it as Calio for years. But I just don't understand why I'm searching for the familiarity of it. Doesn't make sense, really. To me, it really doesn't. But hey ho, what do we know? I met Steve and I met a couple last night. Not that couple, by the way, but I met another couple called Steve and Janet, I think it was, Janet, or Jan, I think it's Janet. And I walked into work a little bit early and they were sat in the bar, just waiting for, well, no, I don't think they were waiting for us, they were actually waiting for Shelley. Shelley was singing up the street, but they'd come into the bar to say hello to me. And Steve, if you're watching, by the way, hi Steve, very graciously complimented the channel. And it's like, it's one of those things again that you don't realise what you're doing, what you're creating when you're just sitting here or standing here blethering on, really. You don't realise what you are. Get past a few people, it's busy. And you've got no idea until somebody actually comes back to you and sits down. I sat down with them and had a glass of water with them because I was just 15 minutes before I started work. And they just sat there and he explained to us, I think he had multiple sclerosis, I think it was. And he was on a good day, so it was fantastic. And he's over on holiday. And just how it helped him, these sort of vlogs, just sitting here, you know, look, even if it's just looking at Tenerife, or looking at the weather, or just listening to the crap that I spout on. I don't know what it was, but it was so nice to hear, because I think we've said it. I think I've said it before that the reason why I do this was more the cathartism for myself, because I don't sit still very well. I've got a lot of time on my hands. That's a lot of dead time. That I can most probably use for negative reasons, you know. Oh, there's a dog getting showered over there. Look at that. Look at the size of that, man. He's having a great shower. that I could use for negative reasons. And I don't mean, what I mean is, because I know of my like, people have addictions, and my addictions, I've got an addictive trait. It could be put into poker, or it could be put into gambling or something like that. Because I know that, that's the reason why I don't do it. But I thought, well, if I do this is actually quite a healthy hobby to have. And you know, it's amazing when you think that sometimes 2,000 people will listen to the garbage that I spout out, you know, which is really, really phenomenal, really, when you think about it. So very, very grateful. But it was just nice that when Steve actually almost like put a mirror up last night in front of me and just explained it to us. So thank you so much for that, Steve. Thank you very much. I love it when you come over and say hello. There's a lot more people now from the Just Rick coming over now and saying from the Just Rick channel. You're walking down the beach, you got a saxophonist on, man. See what I mean? It's class, isn't it? It's class. See, that's a nice saxophone, that. I've heard some. We went to a bar a couple of years back, and there was a small bar and they had a saxophonist on. And honestly, God, he started playing. It sounded to me like he was having. It just sounded like if a panic attack had a physical form, that's what the saxophonist sounded like. And it was just not for me. And I went, look, we need to go, and that's why we left. But I digress. As always, I digress. I'm seeing a kid with tattoos here, like a 19-year-old with tattoos up his neck. It's the future, isn't it? More and more and more these tattoos. This is too much waffling. You can see where we are. I think we've done enough. It was just a little one. Thank you, Steve. Familiarity, it's a weird one. And dogs. See you on the next one. As always, you know what to do.